This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Netflix. Coming up, we go undercover in the open world Hong Kong in the game Sleeping Dogs.
Today's video game is Sleeping Dogs, the adorable tale of some fluffy friends that doze off in your living room. No, it's not that at all.
And then stab the triad.
Yeah. This is a game with a storied history that I won't go into, but it started its life as a different franchise. Basically, Square Enix has put out a game that is ostensibly Grand Theft Auto, but with a really interesting setting. It's in China. And it is, you play a double agent who is trying to, an undercover, put himself in the Chinese mafia, and also the while solving crimes. So you do both. You do some sort of nasty bad things to try to get higher up, raise your rank higher up in the triads, and you also solve crimes. Open world, you can jack cars. It's a very similar template to any other sort of big open world adventure game that you might expect, but instead of in Red Dead Redemption you're playing cards and stuff. Here there's cockfighting and what's the other thing that you do? Oh God.
I don't know, is Mahjong in the game?
No, I don't think there's Mahjong. There's another one that I was playing a lot of, and I can't remember what it is. Anyway, Dan,
yeah.
You love you some Chinese Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah.
You love you some Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
This seems like a game made for you. You were super excited about it.
I was.
I think we were all a little underwhelmed by what they showed at E3.
This past year, yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, it was True Crime Hong Kong or whatever, and that was like, oh my God. And also the chasing stuff, which is up my butt.
Which seems to be very similar to something you might find in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. 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 I would say better than Assassin's Creed. It's actually quite similar to it.
It's got kind of the Batman Arkham Asylum combat system.
But I was actually just thinking, that's what I thought while playing it, but now I actually think, no, actually the combat system is very much closer to Assassin's Creed. Because it's less fluid, and Assassin's Creed, people blink when they're about to thing, and it's more like...
counters.
Yeah, but Batman, you could be mashing and swim from A to Y and do things, and here it's like... It's a little bit. But in the way that Assassin's Creed, it's a little bit more calmed down, a little bit more like just wait. Really, in Batman, you can be fighting and counter. In this, you kind of, to be super successful, you sort of want to wait to counter people. Yes. In fact, some guys you can only win if you just sit there and wait for them to. Yeah. Just like Assassin's Creed. I didn't care for the story that much, having only played the first chunk. It's very possible that if I finished the game, by the end I would be like, oh my God, the story gets amazing. All I could see was its similarities to any Hong Kong movie I've loved over the years, or any Grand Theft Auto or video game that I played over the years.
That's a bad thing?
I just couldn't get past that. It just didn't win me over. The other performances by like Tom Wilkinson and Emma Stone and like all the big Korean and Chinese actors that are in our movies these days are voicing all these guys. Performances are great, but the story, I just couldn't, it didn't suck me in. And it just felt too familiar to me. The graphics are cool. There's some mainly the character models, sometimes the city gets modeled away. Looks great. The combat system, while more fun than in Grand Theft Auto, and some fun, because you did have to strategize, I didn't like what's great about Arkham City or Asylum is you're going anywhere, and then there's a thing happening, you swoop in and you do the thing and you go, it's all in the open world. Here it would like fade out, and then I start fighting people, and I'm like kind of like in that arena, and then it's over, and
it doesn't really fade out.
It would. Really? Yeah, if you did the blue missions where the surveillance, you plug in, you go to the thing, and
cool.
It's like its own kind of thing. It didn't ever feel like I'm swimming in and out of those things. And but I did like the action jacking, carjacking stuff, and I don't know. It was a very mixed bag for me. I was frankly underwhelmed, especially because I'm hearing so much positive buzz about it. Maybe I had my expectations rose too high, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Maybe I'll remember some other things that I thought, because I felt so lukewarm on it.
How did your dog sleep?
Well, as you know, anybody who watches the show, I'm not a fan of this genre of video game. And it's funny that you brought up Arkham City, because I realized, oh yeah, Arkham City tricked me into thinking into playing a game like this, but that I really enjoyed. And I think it really, I hate to say it, but it comes really far down to driving and running around a city. The driving and running around a city is
you do anyway in
so, yeah, but it's so, first off, it's boring as crap. Secondly,
No, you start out with a motorcycle. That's cool.
it's okay, but
Chicks hop on the back.
yeah, but all you're doing is getting from point A to point B in a very not fun way, in a very mundane way, right? Whereas with Arkham City, you're getting from point A to point B as Batman, flying through the side, swinging off things, getting up on buildings, so that when you see something that happens to be next to you when you're on your way to something, you're having so much fun going, and then you're sort of like, well, yeah, I'll just stop and do this. This is fun. Whereas in this game, you gotta other games of the open world genre, you have to kind of click on your map, highlight the thing that's gonna be the extra thing, you slowly make your ass over to the thing. The surprising thing about this is I actually really enjoyed this game. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this game, because it didn't force you, it took a while to get you into the, oh, see, it's an open world game.
Yeah.
It takes a while, I mean, it takes a pretty good amount of time to get there, to where you like walk out and you're like, oh, I don't have any main missions, I guess I'll just kind of screw around and do stuff, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of games get there very quick because that's the game, and usually that's where games lose me. But this had, I was, unlike Dan, and maybe it's because I haven't been a big connoisseur of the Hong Kong movies. I really enjoyed the story and what was going on and how it was sort of, mixing, and how the story was presented to you, especially at the top, where it sort of like slowly unfolds the onion that you're gonna be doing that, you know what I mean? And the other thing is, I really enjoyed the combat system. I was sort of surprised. Now, one of my biggest problems with all of the sort of GTA and GTA clones is that they really don't care about, they don't put in good driving, they don't put in good gun work, they don't put in good fighting. They put in driving, fighting, and gun work. And with this, I feel like, though you didn't get good driving, and one of the big gripes that I had was that, you're trying to maintain this cop level and your bad guy level, so that you can kind of get bonuses on each end.
So you have to drive nicely.
The problem, but a lot of times it's like, you gotta catch this guy. I'm murdering people left, right, and sideways just because I'm trying to catch the guy, because the driving is horrible. It wasn't a challenge.
I don't think this was horrible. I don't think the driving was horrible.
Well, I thought the driving, for the most part, was horrible. But then it was counteracted with this combat system that I actually found really good. I love this, that games have taken to the countering thing, and it's not blocking anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that the only difference is it's not blocking. I mean, 5 years ago, you would just have a block button,
right,
and when you saw them go red, you would just block. But because it now allows you to still be active in the game, you're still attacking, like my defense is actually an attack, has really broadened my joy of the sort of beat 'em up with the counters and stuff like that, like I loved from Arkham City. So I had a really surprisingly fun time, and I actually was like, I got into the rabbit hole, which I think is the hook of these games, which I never get into, which is like, I want to get a better outfit, I want to get the nice car,
The leveling
you know what I
up
mean?
in this game, that is what this brings to the table, I think, over a GTA. The leveling up skills.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it's cool that you have to go to the dojo. Like if you collect, like having the collectibles in the game means something.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
And then you're like, oh, I get a cool new.
Or more health if you find the.
I get a cool new, not just a cool new outfit, which is also cool, but a cool new freaking gameplay mechanic.
But also they give you bonuses. Like some other games, it's just like put on a new outfit because it's a cool new outfit. With this, it was like if you get the set and you have this look, you get bonuses, which I liked.
Too. Yeah. I agree with you. I had a lot of fun with this. I was very surprised at how much I like sleeping dogs. I love the fact that you have a game, an open world, modern set game where it's hours of gameplay before you pick up a gun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. combat system is not as sublime as a Arkham Asylum.
I agree.
It is not as liquid and beautiful. You're not getting as many frames of animation. It feels less polished, but it's still cool. It's still pretty cool. And you can take down dudes, and it's got the cool like environmental takedowns where you like grab a guy and walk him over to the thing and slam his face. That's fun. That's fun. I killed somebody with a fish.
Nice.
Because I first slammed their face into a giant aquarium. Fish came tumbling out in water. I picked up said fish, smacked man with fish, got an achievement for killing somebody with a fish.
Amazing.
That's cool. Any game that's got that is cool. And you can eat noodles for health.
I will say, highly disappointed that the massage parlor was just a guy giving you a massage. Just saying.
Mine just faded out and faded back in.
Yeah, to a guy giving you a massage.
You guys all went to the massage parlor.
I tried because I was like,
you get bonuses. You
Yeah.
get bonuses for
Almost.
that.
I know.
The setting of this game is super cool. I've never played a game in this setting. I felt like the look and feel of it was awesome. Just the fact that I'm driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah, I know, that was funny.
It was a complete mental, like, I'm in a new land. I'm in a foreign place. I'm driving on the left. And I constantly was like knocking into people because I was like, oh, sorry, excuse me, Westerner,
Yeah.
Pardon me, And I found that the mission systems, the missions such as they were, brought some really fun new things to the table. You mentioned the surveillance stuff. You can set up these cameras around and hook them up to your apartment, which was pretty cool.
The fact that one mission was drive people in a bus and drop them off. And that was fun.
Well, that's sort of the taxi. Yeah. But
You know what was cool? They added to the driving of an open world game is not quite, but ramming.
I know, push a button. Thank God, right? Because how annoying is it when you're like, I'm driving the exact same speed as that guy and I'll never do anything.
Yeah,
The ramming
was
very
nice.
It does have the thing that I hate about all these games, which is they are basically Simon Says exercises for most of the missions. It's do the next thing, failed, and half the time the failing is, I just didn't understand what you wanted me to do.
Right.
Like there's a sequence that I failed like 4 times of like, take a picture of a guy, and I was waiting for him to do something that would be a picture, and I just misunderstood that I needed to take a picture right away.
Yeah, of the two, not,
Yeah, and
not
there's-
of the conspicuous.
Yeah! So, I hate the fact that it's just like, did you follow instructions exactly what we said? No? Fail. Do it again. Did you follow, I'm just, Simon Says.
Yeah.
Instead of being creative and I mean, there's a lot of other ways to be creative in the game. And
Did you ever finish or play at all even Stranglehold? The hard-boiled sequel, one of the first PS3 games.
I played it a lot. I did not finish it, but it was that much more an action game than this is.
in this setting though, and did have environmental play.
But I never felt like I was in the setting in that game. I felt like that was a video game level where I could shoot the sign and it would make sparks and land on the guy. And this when I'm driving around this city, I really feel like, oh, this is and there's a lot of interactive points and there's a lot of people saying, hey, can you help me out, bro? Even though for some reason because I'm driving by, they think I can help them. But
Ooh, that guy looks so
yeah. I don't know. I think this is a solid. If you're into Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, and you like these kind of games, this is a solid entry in a really interesting environment.
Yeah.
And it's got some really interesting new mechanics to bring to the table that are fun. So
definitely worth a play if you love the genre. Yeah, definitely worth a play.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, Dan Trachtenberg.
With more than 26 million members, Netflix is the world's leading internet subscription service, guys.
Bam!
For movies and TV programs. You can instantly watch thousands of titles on a vast array of devices like your Xbox 360, your Sony PS3, your Wii, your Kindle, your Nook, all the Apple devices. I am still watching Dawson's Creek because every single season that show is there. Jeff, you said
I've gone down the rabbit hole of
documentaries.
Hey, you like this documentary, so there's all these other documentaries that you didn't. That's one of the really cool things about Netflix is because you watched this, you may also like this, and you just sort of ping pong ping all the way through.
Yep. Yep.
Great.
I had some funny things to say, making fun of that, but I won't. As a new member, every stand-up comedian has the or whatever. Jeff, you must like whatever. Fill in the blank. As a new member and a TRS viewer, you can get a free 30-day trial membership. Go to netflix.com/TRS and sign up now. But be sure to use that URL so that they know that we sent you.
Amazing. All right, people. We will see you tomorrow.
Hostile.
Have a nice day.
Join us tomorrow for the results of our summer movie wager.
Today's Twitter question sent in with the hashtag TRSQ from Simon Person, who's at Simon Person on Twitter, is, when did you get your first cell phone and what phone was it?
Ooh. I remember.
I had a beeper first. Did you guys, anybody
Yeah,
have a
I had a
pager?
beeper.
I actually
too.
didn't.
In high school.
I didn't
Me
get
too.
pager.
Yeah.
Didn't get pager.
Pager with 911, you better call me back, bruh.
My dad, though,
talk
because
like
he
that.
worked in the, I think it's still in the government at that point, he got a car phone, but that it wasn't just the car phone, because car phones were first sort of before cell phones, they were like in the car.
Yeah, I had my
But
mom
he
had
had the
one.
car phone that you could then pull the back out and it became briefcase cell phone.
Unbelievable.
That was crazy. And
Secret
we were
to
never
the
allowed
agent. To his
and we were
hand,
never allowed to
Secret
use it because the phone calls were like
agent
$20 a minute.
I bet.
But my first cell phone was a Nokia 6260.
Oh, you remember the number?
Yeah, which was it was sort of it had a little bit of a flip, but it wasn't like one of the flip phones.
Mine wasn't
and
a
it was
flip.
in
Mine wasn't a flip
it was in
either.
college. It was like 95
Mine was
maybe.
I was very late on that because I had the pager and I thought that was fine. I was very late to the cell phone revolution.
I was one of my first
Mine
people
was
I knew
this
that
little
had cell
blue Nokia that was about that long.
Yeah.
And I got it because I was really excited about multi-tone ringtones. Because it could have something that resembled kind of a song.
Yep.
And then I think my second cell phone after that, I think you gave me your Razor.
Oh my God. Wow. Yes, I remember doing that.
You gave me your Razor, and I
That
used
was
that,
your
and
second
then
cell
yes,
phone.
and then
That was like my 50th
Although-
cell
I know,
phone.
and then I went iPhone. We all bought iPhones on opening on the first day.
Yeah,
You went
know what
from
I mean?
Razor from a StarTech.
Your Razor, your hand-me-down Razor. I went.
Oh, my Razor. I thought you meant the StarTech. Oh, yeah.
No, the Razor. You know the
No.
like,
I
cool
get it now.
Razor?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Razor.
my first was a long Nokia. Remember when it was the choice was like a small clamshell or a long Nokia.
Yeah.
But everyone said the long Nokias, although they were not as cool looking or stylish.
Well, do you remember
they got
the
better
silver?
reception or
Do you remember the
something
silver
because-
one that was in like the Matrix or something?
Probably.
It was like it was all silver
Oh,
and the
yeah.
bottom slid
Slid
down
out.
and it
Oh,
was like
yeah.
the
I
sexiest
didn't
thing
have
ever.
that, yeah.
No, I didn't. I never had it. It was so
Yeah.
freaking expensive, but it was like
we
that
were
was the
finally
phone.
getting a flip one and being like, oh my God, it's so cool.
Oh, my
Like,
Razor.
closes and
Alex's
flips.
Razor. I loved it. It seemed so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super thin. too.
Everybody
I
had
remember
those at a certain point.
that one. Yeah.
I used to wear
Motorola. Where are you?
Did you really with the
my-
little
my
clamp?
one.
Oh yeah. Clip off.
Oh, that's
Amazing.
pretty embarrassing. Wow.
I'm excited. Thank you, Simon Pearson.
It's not even that long ago.